Hi, I'm Jack Draper. Shout out to QualityShot Tennis.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have a really exciting draw preview and prediction video to go through, and the reason why is because Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz will be playing in the same tournament for the first time in 2023. So we have a chance to get that mouth-watering matchup between the young up-and-coming star versus the best player you'd say on the planet at the moment in Novak Djokovic. The most informed player though is Carlos Alcaraz, of course, after beating and dismantling the rest of the field in Madrid, making it back-to-back Madrid titles, beating Jannik Sinner in 3 sets, also won Barcelona, and he's only lost 2 matches this year, but injured at the Australian Open, where Novak Djokovic, of course, won that Grand Slam. Going into Roland Garros, we have the last Masters 1000 tournament here at Rome. We're going to be getting into it, looking at each and every single match, picking our winners in each, and then on top of that, I will give you guys my predicted winner. Novak Djokovic is the defending champion. He beat Stefanos Tsitsipas last year in the final, 7-6-6 love. Rafa Nadal lost in the 3rd round, and he is absent this year as well due to the hip abductor injury. He did say that he is training, but I think it's more a case of he's not actually maybe still injured, but he isn't match fit. So look, it's all up in the air whether he'll play Roland Garros or not. He's never played Roland Garros without any clay court matches beforehand. We'll see whether that continues. Djokovic, though, is back after that elbow injury he had, and Alcaraz has been playing a lot of tennis, so question marks around whether he might be fatigued as well. But Rome is a fantastic indicator for Roland Garros because the surface plays very similar to the Grand Slam in Paris, and people that tend to do well in Rome, they tend to do well at Roland Garros. I'm not necessarily saying whoever wins Rome wins Roland Garros, but if you make a final or semi-final, you tend to then go on and do pretty well in that slam as well soon after. So before we get into it though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you are new, and also do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Thank you to all our members as well. You guys are legends for contributing as always. Let's get into this draw. So Novak Djokovic has a bye in the 1st round. He is the 1st or top seed in this draw. Alcaraz is number 2, so that does mean that we have a projected final of Djokovic versus Alcaraz. So if we want to see that, these guys are going to have to do the business. And in terms of projected quarterfinals, actually, before we get into the actual draw, Djokovic-Rune is a tasty matchup for a quarterfinal. Ruud versus Sinner, which is the top half as well. Rublev versus Medvedev in the bottom half quarterfinal. That would be a fantastic quarter. I'd actually say Rublev is a favorite given his clay. Even though Medvedev has shown some pretty good results on the red dirt, I think Rublev has had better results winning Monte Carlo, for example, and he looks a lot more comfortable and actually potentially might play his best tennis on the stuff, which might be a surprise to some given his type of play style. But he hits the ball a lot of RPM or revolutions per minute or topspin to some people, and it does give him a lot of purchase at this surface. Tsitsipas Alcaraz is the other quarterfinal in the bottom half. That would be a fantastic quarter. So hopefully we get some of those, but we'll see. Of course, it is in Italy, in Rome, so the Italians will be coming out in full force, I'm sure. So Djokovic has a bye. Van Asch plays Etcheverry. Will go Etcheverry there. Wawrinka's via Vashka for me. Dimitrov and Demina both have buys. Krajinovic plays Fucsovic. A really good matchup here. I think I'm going to go with Fucsovic. Kyle Edmund has a qualifier. I'll go for Kyle Edmund for now. Nori has a buy, as does Felix Auger-Aliassime. O'Connell has a qualifier. I'll go for O'Connell. He's been in some pretty good form, including beating Zverev in Munich as well. Giron has a qualifier. Korda and Kecmanovic both have buys. Fognini plays Murray. Wow. In the 1st round, that's a fantastic match, to be honest with you. Fognini on clay is an incredible proposition. He also has won a Masters 1000 tournament in the past as well on clay. For Andy Murray, though, he's also won Masters 1000 tournaments on clay. Actually won Rome in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And he's just come off a win. Yes, albeit at Challenger, but still a clay court tournament win, beating Tommy Paul in the final there. So it was a pretty high standard Challenger. Look, I'm actually going to go for Murray. I think as long as he's fit and he's not fatigued from that event and he rests and recovers well, I think he'll take that form through. Holger Rune has got a bye, as does Casper Ruud. Ridgenek has a qualifier, and so does Bublik. Ben Shelton has a bye, as does Van der Zandt. I've got Ger to beat Lestien. Cashin, Garin, that's a really good first round as well. Very tight one. Garin's not been the best of form. Cashin has been playing some good tennis, but Garin has the more experience, and I'd say probably the better game overall. We'll go for Garin. Tommy Paul has a bye, as does Hachanov. Nakashima, Barrera. I'm going to go Barrera. I think Nakashima, maybe not the most comfortable on the red dirt yet. Gasquet and Wu Yibing. Wu Yibing, I'm not 100% sure what his type of clay court prowess is. I know, of course, he won a tournament on the hard courts, but this is a different proposition. I think Gasquet will come through that with his experience. And then we have Cerundolo, who's got a bye, as does Greixspor. Sebastian Baez versus Verilis, two clay court specialists. Will go with Baez. I think he's got a bit more about him. Menard against the qualifier, and then Sinner and Rublev both have byes. Molcan plays a qualifier. Peya versus Cressy. Davidovich Fokina and RBA, the two Spaniards, they both have byes. Cecchinato to beat McDonald for me, and Jarry to be the qualifier. Fritz has a bye, as does her catch, and Quinton Hallis, I've got him beating JJ Wolf. He's been in some really good form, Quinton Hallis, this year. And David Goffin to play Nardi. I've got Nardi, the wild card, to beat David Goffin. Zverev and Zapata Morales both have byes. Heusler plays Kubler. I'll go Heusler. Ugo Humbert and Rusevori. Rusevori for me, that what he showed against Alcaraz, I think, is a real positive sign for him on clay. Yes, I think Ugo Humbert has had a better season this year and definitely, step in the right direction. But I think surface-wise and game-wise, this is a good matchup for Rusevori. Medvedev and Tsitsipas both have byes. Levic to beat Borges and Sonego to beat Shardy. I also have Nishioka, who has a bye, as is Musetti. I've got Schwartzen to beat Arnaldi, the wild card. Zepieri to be the qualifier. TFO and Chorich both have byes. Adrian Manarino versus Thiago Montero, go Manarino. Carabas Bayana to beat Hugo Delian. Dan Evans and Lehechka both have byes. Mute to play a qualifier. Ramos Vinolas to beat Passaro, and Alcaraz has a bye. Right, let's get to second round matches. Djokovic to beat Echeverry. Wawrinka Dimitrov. Wow, the battle of the beautiful one-handers, eh? I think on this surface, if it was Monte Carlo or Madrid, I might go for Dimitrov, but as it's Rome, I'm going to go for Wawrinka. Dimona, Fucsovic, tight one, I'll go Dimona. Although he hasn't really repaid me recently. Actually, no, I'm going to go Fucsovic. Norrie to beat Kyle Edmund, too experienced and playing, different level to Edmund at the moment. He's come off a long layoff. Felix Auger-Aliassime could easily lose. O'Connor will go for Felix. Sebastian Korda to beat Marcus Giron. Andy Murray to beat Kecmanovic. I'm going to go for it. Runa has a qualifier, and Casper Ruud to beat Riddenek. Shelton Bublik. I'm actually going to go Bublik to win this one. I think his experience might show here. I think Ben Shelton is still a bit raw, to be honest with you, for this surface. Van der Zandt versus Yogo Van der Zandt. He made the Munich final, of course, not too long ago. Tommy Paul to beat Christian Garin. He had a pretty good run last week, and I know Garin's a clay court specialist, but Tommy Paul can play on all surfaces. Hachanov and Barrera. Hachanov. Gasquet, Cerundolo. Baez, I want to go to beat Greixspor. Sinner to beat Menard. Rublev to beat Molcan. Davidovich Fokina to beat Cressy. Was that right? Yeah. RBA to beat Cecchinato. Fritz to beat Jarry. I'm going to go big here. Second round, I'm going to go Quinton Hallis to beat her catch, the 14th seed. Zverev, Nadia goes Zverev, and Zapata Morales to beat Heusler. Rusevori, Medvedev, wow. I think Medvedev might have a bit too much for him, but I don't know. on this surface. It's a different animal. I'm gonna go Rusevori actually. Rusevori. Tsitsipas to beat Lejovic and Senega to beat Nishioka. Musetti to beat Schwartzman. TFO to beat Zeppieri. Coric Manarino. Tough. Good Coric. Carabas-Biana to beat Evans. No, got Evans to beat Carabas-Biana. Lehechka and Mute. Lehechka. Alcaraz beat Ramos Vinolas. Third round. Wow, Djokovic Wawrinka. I really hope we get that. We were robbed of it in Bosnia because I think it was Djokovic had to pull out or Wawrinka had to pull out, one of the two. Anyway, Djokovic Wawrinka. If this was 5-10 years ago, I'd say Wawrinka might have a really good shot here. I think it's not a 50-50 anymore. I think Djokovic wins in straight sets. Fucsovic and Cam Norrie. I think Cam Norrie comes through that. Felix Auger-Aliassime and Sebastian Korda. I'm actually going to go Sebastian Korda. And I'm going to go Holger Rune to beat Andy Murray. I'm going to Casper Ruud to beat Bublik. And Van Schop to beat Tommy Paul. Khachanov to beat Cerundolo. And Sinner to beat Baez. Rublev to beat Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Right, round of 16, Djokovic beat Cam Norrie. Korda Rune. Wow, that would be a fantastic match. Both players would come forward to the net. Both players would try and play aggressive tennis. I think it'll be really exciting to watch. Hopefully we get it. I'm actually going to go Sebastian Korda to edge it, even. Casper Ruud and Van Schop will go for Casper Ruud. Do I? No, Van Schop, he's been in terrible form, Casper Ruud. Sinner to beat Khachanov. Rublev here. Oh, we missed some here, didn't we? Hold on. We missed some round of 32, so third round. I have to go through those, finish up the round of 16. So Fritz to beat RBA. Zverev to beat Hallis. Rusevori to beat Zapata Mirallas. Tsitsipas to beat Sonego. Musetti to beat TFO. Coric Evans. Coric to beat Evans. And Alcaraz to beat Lehechka. So leaves us with the last of the round of 16 matches. Rusevori Zverev. I'm actually going to go Rusevori. I was pretty impressed with how he played against Alcaraz. If he can continue that level, I think we're in for a real surprise. If not, he might get a first round. Tsitsipas, Musetti, Tsitsipas for me. Too much experience. And Coric Alcaraz with a replay of the semi-finals of Madrid. We will go Alcaraz. So quarterfinals, here we go. Djokovic and Korda. Djokovic. Sinner to beat Van Schop. Rusevori and Rublev. Tough one. Rublev. Carlos Alcaraz versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. The quarterfinal that we all wanted. I'll go Alcaraz, but not a huge amount of confidence. Might also be fatigued as well. Then that gives us Djokovic, Sinner, Djokovic, Alcaraz, excuse me, Alcaraz, Rublev, Alcaraz. So I'm going for it. I'm going for my dreams of Djokovic versus Alcaraz final. I think if that was to happen in the final, the crowd will probably be actually behind Djokovic. But I do think because of the elbow injury, he may not be 100%. So because of that, I could go with Alcaraz. But I'm going to change my semi-finals. I think Rublev will beat Alcaraz. I've just got a feeling. Just think Alcaraz, the fatigue is going to catch up at some point. Sinner, Djokovic. I'll stick with Djokovic. The Djokovic-Rublev final. We will go with Novak Djokovic on his return to win Rome. Loves it there. Crowds behind him. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Bit of a boring pick, but let me know who you think is going to win and why. Thank you very much.